Hey y'all, Dena here with another guest review for Still Gaming. You know, I had a lot of Atari 2600 games when I was a kid. I think I had about 50. I have closer to 20 now. I don't know what happened to most of them. I think I loaned them to a certain friend who was not very good about giving things back, and, well, that's that. I can think of a lot of games I liked a lot when I was a kid. I remember really being into Pac-Man and Space Invaders and Yar's Revenge, Defender, but I'm really not sure if I actually had like a specific favorite back then. But I definitely have a favorite now, and it is a little game called Adventure, which I will be reviewing today. And yep, I still have my cartridge. It's actually in pretty good shape considering it's probably older than some of you. But anyway, let's get started on this review, shall we? Now, first of all, here's a quick rundown on all you need to know. There are castles that you open with keys, dragons that attack you, a sword that's for killing the dragons, and mazes. Now, the first difficulty setting is really just a bare bones version of the game, and it's basically meant to just kind of show you what your objectives are. Here's a quick run through. Granted, this game isn't much to look at or even listen to, so I've spiced it up a little bit.
Burninating the countryside, burninating the peasants, burninating all the peoples in the thatched roof cottages! Thatched roof cottages!
Now, this game seems really simple, and in that first difficulty setting it pretty much is, but when you get to the second and third settings, the programming is just crazy. Now, when you play level 2, the first thing you're going to notice is the inclusion of this new character. He's a bat who, for no apparent reason, likes to grab items and just move them randomly over the map. And he will trade one item for another item, and he will pick up anything, including dragons, dead or alive, and he just loves to inconvenience you by moving things around randomly. And it is a major pain in the ass, but it's actually pretty cool, and I have never seen an Atari game that had AI that was this interesting. Even the AI of the dragons is kind of neat. They like to guard items, and it's not unusual for you to go into a room that has an item you want in it, and there's a dragon guarding it, and the dragon will come straight at you, and you can grab the item and run away with it, but the dragon will chase you down until either you drop the item or he kills you. Here's some crazy maze action. Apparently it's a limitation of the Atari 2600 that the mazes have to be mirrored, so they're exactly the same on one side as they are on the other, but it really kind of makes the mazes a little more confusing that way. I think it's kind of interesting, actually. You know, our main hero here, our dot with an arrow, he needs a name. I'm gonna call him Starscream. Here's kind of a neat feature. It's a bridge that lets you walk through walls, and you can pick it up and move it around and just put it wherever you want to walk through a wall. Maybe it's a space bridge? Okay, maybe not. Here's my friend the bat again. I am very surprised he didn't pick up that magnet and leave me at the mercy of that dragon. He loves to do that. Little bastard. Okay, now I'm trying to get the chalice without my sword. because I'm just that insane. Every once in a while I just like to see if I can sneak it past the dragon. Sometimes it can be done, but those dragons are relentless. Oh, I died. You kind of stay alive in the dragon's stomach until you hit reset. One neat feature about this game, though, is that it basically has a continue feature. If you hit reset after you die, the game will start over, but all of the items will still be in the same spot. Basically, it just resurrects you and whatever dragons you killed. So that's kind of cool. You can basically just keep continuing until you beat the game. And I really don't know of any other Atari 2600 game that did that. Check it out, I actually got the chalice away from the dragon and I had no weapon on me. I ended up beating this level pretty quick on this playthrough, and I swear to God it was sheer luck. I really don't even know how I did it.
This is my castle, as it will soon be my world.
Now the third difficulty is pretty much more of the same, but, well, as you can see here, the items show up in completely random spots. The bat is not just waiting for you right in the beginning of the yellow castle there, and that's pretty much it, but you'd be surprised how much that affects gameplay. You play level 2 enough times, and you can kind of more or less memorize where some of the items start off at, but at 3 they could literally be anywhere on the map.
Oh, how it pains me to do this!
Did you see what I did there? I basically made the dragon impale itself on the sword. You can do that as long as, if the dragon just comes in contact with the sword, it'll die. Even if, like, the bat's holding the sword. Or if the sword's just sitting there on the ground. It's kind of fun to play with sometimes. And look, the bat's up to its old antics again, stealing the chalice just as I was about to bring it back to the castle and beat the game. Look at him taunting me down there. Little shithead. Well, now you pretty much get the idea of how this game plays, and what it sounds like and looks like and all that. And if you think it looks primitive now, you should see it on my old, like, 10-inch black and white TV when I was a kid. It looked kinda like this. You know what, though? It really didn't interfere with my enjoyment of the game, though. I mean, it was a big treat to occasionally take my Atari into my brother's room and hook it up to his bigger color TV, but I don't know, just when you're a kid, your imagination just kind of fills in the blanks, and I had fun with it. Good times. Good times. Here's my favorite part, though. The flask just doesn't do anything in black and white. I mean, obviously it can't change colors, but you'd think that it could at least change to different shades of gray or from black to white or something, but it's just this bland shade of medium gray. Now, this game definitely has its place in history. Did you know that this is the first game to ever have what is considered an Easter egg? I won't really go into how to find it, but I will show it to you. And there it is! Oh, Warren Robinette, I could just kiss you. There's some really interesting stuff about this game on Wikipedia. I urge you to check it out. It also links to an interesting little article on Warren Robinette's website where he talks about how he made Adventure. Some of it's a little too technical for me, but it's kind of interesting. It also links to an article about an Adventure mod that someone is making for Quake 3. So that's my review for Adventure. It's not much to look at, and it really could have used maybe some background music, but as far as playability goes, this game just freaking rocks. And that's really all that matters when it comes down to it. And another cool thing is that this game is a forerunner to, well, first similar games like Haunted House, and eventually an obscure little game that you may have heard of called Legend of Zelda. So really, the evolution of RPGs can be traced all the way back to this game, which came out in 1978, by the way. It's really impressive when you consider that. I highly recommend giving this game a shot. It is a lot of fun. That's it for now. See you next time.
Nighty night!